What's up guys, it's waba, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about price checking and pricing your items in Path of Exile. This is something that comes up a lot a lot of streamers know it, a lot of viewers know it, people always ask for price checks. I think this is perfectly fine, but what I want to do is I want to show my method for price checking, and I'm going to do this with a bunch of items, so when you see my method for price checking, you could kind of understand how I go about it. And I do pretty well with trading. I feel I've made quite a bit of currency in the Talisman Hardcore League while not playing so much. But price checking is a really big part of generating currency in Path of Exile. So let's go ahead and talk about this first item that I'm going to be showing off. Is the Soulstar Thorium Spirit Shield. Now, when I found this item, I immediately recognized that it had a prefix open. And as you can see, I crafted the energy shield on here. And I just noticed with a high energy shield roll, the high resist roll, the crit roll isn't too high, but with the other rolls being as they are, I knew that a crafted energy shield roll would make this to be a very strong shield. So I crafted it, I qualityed it, just so I could know. And although you don't necessarily need to quality items, because when people search for items on PoE.trade, it's just going, most of the time they have the quality normalization on. So they would have noticed that this was 421 energy shield. But let's go ahead and look at this right now. And now we will go ahead and price it. So we're going to set this to shield. And then we're going to use the mods that are the most relevant to its value. Now this would be the energy shield. So we're going to do that. We're going to put a value on this of 70 just to filter out some of the results that will come up, because we will get a lot if we don't put a value on there. And then the second thing we're going to be looking at is the resist. Now it is a tier 2 fire roll, and we don't want to necessarily lock it to the fire roll because people always work around resist. So we're going to go with the pseudo elemental resist. If you leave this at blank, it just means it's going to be 1. If you were to put 2, this would mean it would have 2 different resists on it. But we're going to leave that blank because this isn't too relevant. It's important, but it's not as important as the top one. In fact, you could leave this blank too, but we're not going to lock it to fire resist at all because people always work around that. And the last mod that we're going to be putting on there is going to be the critical strike chance for spells. Now, although it is low, it's not, if it was 90% plus or 100% or more, it would be a lot better, but it's still relevant enough to put on there. And yeah, so yeah, we'll go ahead and do online only, and boom. Boom. So we're going to sort it by energy shield now. As you can see, we have a bunch of shields here. This is actually my shield right now, and I had already price checked this prior. But as you can see, my shield is right here up at the top, listed at 35 chaos. The gentleman that is buying it is offering 1 exalt. Of course, I'm going to take that because I'd rather sell something than not. Even though at this time in the league, I would prefer chaos, I will also take an exalt. But the key point here is that whenever you're price checking something and whenever you list something, you want to search for it in the way that I did, so you can see shields that are very similar. All these shields are similar, but when we look at it, why would someone buy this shield over this one? Because this one's a little bit cheaper, but has more energy shield. Well, my crit chance is a little bit higher, but that's not really a point that I would say is important. I'd say it's actually more about the fire resist, and that was something that affected my pricing of it. The fact that this is a tier 3, yeah, tier 2, tier 3 fire roll, and then it's just a pretty good shield. It's a bargain at 1 exalt at any time in the league. I don't think it would ever go higher than 1 exalt. This is something I would probably keep at about 1, maybe 1.5 exalts at any time, just because I'm interested in selling, not hoarding. And I feel like a lot of people should do that. See, like this shield right here, considerably less ES. It's got a good resist roll on it. It could get more ES if you were to recraft it, and recrafting this isn't that much and has more crit, but one would probably argue that stun recovery is a better stat to have than a flat life regen. So yeah, guys, just so we know, I'm going to be doing a lot of my price checks. I'm going to be recording like a lot of my price checks and, you know, listing items, and I'll be talking about all the items and how much they're worth. If you guys want to come check me out on my Twitch, follow me, or check me out at twitch.tv/wabacha. This is just a short little video. Wanted to make it for you guys so you could see what I'm doing. And yeah, I told this guy to wait just a second. So yeah, and I'll get an Exalt for it. And like I said, it's important to be flexible. You know, I asked 35 chaos for it, but I asked 35 chaos because I knew it was equivalent to an Exalt. So, you know, you gotta play on the emotions of players. Oh, I don't have to trade chaos for this. I get to get rid of one of my Exalts that no one wants. It's fine, I'll take an Exalt. So yeah, hopefully this happens. But yeah, guys, twitch.tv/wabacha. And thank you very much. If you have any questions, if you want me to price check one of your items, or if you need help with anything, understanding it, check me out, follow me, whatever. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye-bye. So with Ascendancy coming up, let's go ahead and talk about some of the subclasses that I think are going to be very strong for Shockwave Totem. I'm probably going to be playing Shockwave Totem at the very start of the league, or at the start of the newest league for Ascendancy, because it is a great build to start. And I'm going to have a new updated build guide for it on YouTube very soon. And yeah, so let's go ahead and go over all the subclasses.